Just ahead on CTV News.
Closing arguments today in the case of Michael Owen, the former Prince George's County police officer charged with murder. I'm Byron Scott. We'll have that story coming up.
Plus, get into the giving spirit.
Find out how you can help children in need this holiday season right here in the county. Coming up on CTV News.
And carjackings are on the rise. How can you stay protected? That and more coming up next on CTV News.
Good evening. I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News update. Well, closing arguments got underway today in the case of Michael Owen, the former Prince George's County police officer charged with killing a man who was in custody. Byron Scott has our story.
The session got underway after 11 o'clock this morning with the judge reading the instructions to the jury. Then the closing arguments began. Prosecutors told jurors in courtroom 2019 today that the evidence shows that the defendant, former Prince George's County police officer Michael Owen, is guilty on all counts. That Owen shot William Green, who was sitting in Owen's cruiser, hands cuffed behind his back 6 times, quote, blowing out his heart. It was January 27, 2020 in Temple Hills. A car driven by Green struck several other vehicles. Police intervened and took Green into custody. The defense says there was a struggle in the car and that Owen's gun fell out of his holster. They say Green got his hands on it before Owen got it back. The defense says Owen feared Green may have another weapon and shot him in self-defense, killing him. The defense gave its closing arguments after lunch. As for the deliberations, it's anyone's guess as to how long that will take. At the courthouse, Byron Scott, CTV News.
Thanks, Byron. Well, Maryland transportation officials make deep cuts to projects across the state in an effort to address more than $3 billion in shortfalls. State Transportation Secretary Paul Wiedefeld says to close the gap over the 6-year spending plan, the agency will impose across-the-board budget cuts, hiring freezes, fee and parking rate increases, as well as defer hundreds of millions in projects across the state. MDOT will cut roughly $1 billion from its operating budget, another $2 billion from its capital budget, and local governments will see a $400 million reduction.
It is going to have a huge impact on the county. I would start by this. One of the things, I'm on the COG board, the regional board, Metro board, and what we found is that we have a huge shortfall in budget for Metro. $750 million. Now that is an area, metro area, so includes Virginia, Maryland, and DC. We are trying to build a transit-oriented community, and how do we do that if we have such a shortfall in Metro and a shortfall on the state level might impact how much we can give to Metro.
And we will have much more on the expected impact of the state transportation cuts in the coming weeks. Well, the Marine Corps Toys for Tots program has returned to Prince George's County for the holiday giving season. The Prince George's Police Department is hosting a gift distribution and welcoming toy donations for kids of all ages. They've been collecting new packaged toys to distribute to families in need around the county. Donation boxes can be found at businesses and at the Division III Police Station. Last year, Prince George's Toys for Tots distributed almost 80,000 toys to 20,000 children in need.
There's a lot of people that are struggling, whether it be financially. So the opportunity to ensure that each child gets that opportunity to experience Christmas, that joy of Christmas, it's an amazing feeling for the officers.
And toy distribution will be on December 16th from 8 until 6. Pre-registration can be done on toysfortots.com. Well, a woman is dead after a pedestrian collision in Adelphi Tuesday morning. 54-year-old Rosa Guzman was attempting to cross Riggs Road when she was hit by a minivan just before 6:30. Guzman was taken to a local hospital where she died not long after. The driver did remain on the scene. Councilmember Juanica Fisher expressed her condolences toward the victim's family in a statement. She also said she's committed to working toward safety measures for all road users. Well, Prince George's Fire Department is investigating a series of car fires that happened inside a parking garage at National Harbor early this morning. PGFD was called to the 250th block of American Way in Oxon Hill about 1 o'clock. Investigators found that 2 cars were set on fire, spreading to 4 surrounding vehicles. The investigation is ongoing. No word on whether there are any suspects in the investigation. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Malone. Coming up after the break, sounding the alarm on carjackings.
Police are tackling the rise in carjackings in the county. I'm Katara Jones. I'll have more details on this growing trend coming up on CTV News.
Welcome back. Well, carjackings continue to be a growing problem here in Prince George's and nationally. CTV's Katira Jones is standing by in Largo with the latest.
Prince George's police say carjackings are up, but what is concerning police is the growing number of juveniles involved in these crimes.
We've arrested more juveniles in response to carjackings than adults. That's happened escalating over the years.
As of November 27th of this year, Prince George's police have made a total of 229 arrests related to carjackings. 125 of those arrested involved children. In contrast to 2022, police arrested 102 juveniles for carjacking.
And so something occurred for young people under the age of 18 to want to go out and commit such a very violent and heinous crime.
According to the department's daily crime report, from November 26th to December 2nd, there have been a total of 10 reported carjackings in the county. With a growing trend of kids committing these crimes, some shoppers in Largo say something must be done.
I think another thing that needs to be done is the teens it needs to be a little bit more accountability. They jack some people, and then the next thing you know, they're back out doing it again.
As many residents head out shopping this holiday season, Police Chief Malik Aziz has this important tip.
Be aware of your surroundings. We all get caught up into the day-to-day operations that we do and by habit, but pay attention to what's going on behind you.
Police say if you find yourself in a situation where you believe you are being carjacked, to simply just give up your keys to the suspect, get to safety, and call police immediately. Katara Jones, CTV News.
Thanks, Katara. And next week, an important deadline for Cameroonian immigrants takes place for those seeking continued protection from deportation. Casa de Maryland has been holding a series of legal clinics to educate the community about impending deadline that members have until December 11th to re-register for temporary protected status. The TPS extension also offers work authorization for immigrants for 18 months, but you must reapply to get the extension.
Cameroon has had an ongoing armed conflict since about 2014, resulting in many murders, mass displacements. And so in June 2022, the United States government designated Cameroon for TPS, meaning that Cameroonians who are currently in the U.S. have an 18-month protection period during which they cannot be detained or deported simply for not having lawful immigration status.
And TPS for current Cameroonian beneficiaries ends tomorrow, December 7th. CASA is assisting immigrants with the reapplication process. You can log on to wearecasa.org/Cameroon for more info. Well, more than 100 residents in Upper Marlboro have been displaced after a fire yesterday. The blaze happened in a senior apartment complex on Largo Road near Riverdale Baptist Church. Emergency responders found the location of the fire, which was put out by the sprinkler system. Water damage required that the electrical system be temporarily disconnected. Officials have not said the cause of the fire. All 111 residents have been temporarily relocated while crews repair the damage. And now Simon Buggs is joining us with a preview of our Wednesday sports page. And tonight we are talking high school women's or girls basketball.
Yes, we are, Patty, girls basketball. And hey, everyone, and coming up soon, a recap of the Duval High School women's basketball team's first game of the season that was played last night. Don't go anywhere.
When I found out my son was smoking weed, I thought it was just part of adolescence.
But then I found out how powerful weed is now.
It's so much more powerful than weed from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
When teens use vapes or dabs, the potency can be 80 to 100% THC.
Use of high THC products by youth can cause hallucinations, cannabis-induced psychosis,
and come with increased risks of suicidal thoughts,
planning, and attempts.
Get educated. Talk to your children well before they experiment. Go to justsayno.org for the facts.
Camera's not on me. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for our pet of the week, meet Goldie. She's a 9-year-old cattle dog mix. Goldie came into the shelter as a stray and is now a staff favorite. Animal management says that she is also house trained.
She's very, very sweet, very outgoing. She's always waiting for you in front of the kennel to take her out for a walk. I just brought her out and she urinated right away, so we know that she is house trained. She is 9, so she would qualify for our senior special in where we would waive her adoption fees.
And if you'd like to adopt Goldie or any of her furry friends, you can call Animal Management at 301-780-7200.
Good evening, sports fans. We go to the world of high school basketball for today's sports page.
The Duval High School girls basketball squad took the court last night for their first game of the season against Anacostia High School. Beginning with the first quarter, the Lady Tigers struggled to begin the game as turnovers and missed shots caused them to only score 4 points. But the Lady Tigers made adjustments, and in the second quarter, they began to play better. Lady Tigers forward and center Aliyah McLean had a nice steal to get her team the ball back that resulted in an easy layup for her squad. Combo guard Precious Natitibum Euro-stepped her way into a bucket for her team by converting this tough layup. And Natitibum made another nice play, hitting this three-pointer that cut the deficit to 9 as her team went into halftime down 26-17. Moving on to the second half, the Lady Tigers continued to be aggressive by driving to the paint and drawing fouls, but being unable to hit their free throws, lapses on defense, and more turnovers caused the Lady Indians to pull away more, and they will end up falling to Anacostia 53-36. The Lady Tigers will take the court next against Parkdale tomorrow at 7:15.
Moving on to some high school boys basketball news, Frederick Douglass fell to Rock Creek Christian Academy 82-68. Chopticon defeated Potomac High School 79-53, and Laurel got their first win of the season, taking down College Park Academy 60-39. And wrapping up your Wednesday sports page, the UMD men's basketball squad will try and get their 5th win of the season tonight as they take the court against Penn State at 7 o'clock. And that concludes your Wednesday sports page.
All right, thank you so much, Simon. And we are going to move on now to our weather forecast. You can get a quick check on the 3-day forecast. It's mostly clear tonight with a low of 29. Thursday, partly sunny. Temps will reach 45 during the day. Friday, it'll be sunny again with a high of 56. Saturday, the sunshine sticking around with a high of 56. And that wraps up our CTV News Update. I'm Patricia Valone.
And I'm Simon Buggs.
Join us again tomorrow for more local news, and have a great evening.
Good night.